Welcome to Instruct Tutorials! In this video, we'll discuss the version control feature. Version control allows you to collaborate in real time across the UI and code workflows with no overwriting, and provides a history of any changes. If there are any conflicting changes made by multiple users, they can be compared, resolved, and merged directly in the UI or using Git from the command line. Version control is currently in beta. Once the feature is enabled for your organization, you can choose to turn on version control for each track individually. On the track dashboard, let's toggle the Enable Version Control widget on the right sidebar. Once version control is turned on for a track, an initial commit containing all the changes made to the track up to that point appears below. Let's view the change history of this track. We can access it by clicking on the Created or Updated link in the top left of the track dashboard, or by selecting the Commits button in the version control sidebar. Now, let's see version control in action. First, we'll make some changes to our track. Select the Edit Settings button and change the title of our track. Select Save. Notice a blue bar appears at the top showing that we are currently editing the track and have unsaved changes. In this state, changes won't be permanently saved until they are published. You can keep making changes until you are ready to publish them. Let's add a new challenge and then select Publish. A pop-up appears prompting us to describe the changes we made. Here we provide a summary of changes and any additional context that will help other content creators understand what has changed and why these changes were made. Click Publish, and we see our change was successful. Let's look at another quick example. Select our new challenge, give it a name, and select Save. We see the blue ribbon appear at the top alerting us that we are in editing mode. Now, let's click on the Notes tab and add an explainer video and save our work. Okay, let's click to publish these changes. Adding descriptions and context will help our team track changes later on. Well done! Return to the Track Details page and click on the Commits button to view our change history. The change history contains a list of all changes made to a track, when the change was made, who made the change, and the commit message that describes the change. There's also the git commit hash that can be used to inspect the commit on the command line. Clicking on a specific message brings us to a details page, which shows the contents of the configuration files that were altered in the change. The syntax of these configuration files is the same as used by the Instruct CLI. Here we can see a side-by-side that demonstrates the last changes we made. The lines that were changed are written in red. Lines that were added are outlined in green. Cool. Let's imagine someone else has published changes to the same track while we were making our changes. This can create a conflict. When this happens, the Publish pop-up alerts us that there are conflicting changes and they need to be resolved before being able to publish our changes. Notice the resolved counter in the top right. This screen shows all configuration files that contain conflicting values and provides a way to resolve these conflicts. We can accept your changes or the incoming changes made by others. If there is a need for more complex conflict resolution, where a combination of the values from both changes is the desired outcome, it's possible to change the contents of the file directly through the file editor. Now that all the conflicts in the configuration file are resolved, we see the Publish button is now enabled. Clicking Publish will save the track with all the changes we've made, including any changes made during the conflict resolution process. We can choose to discard any changes we've made by clicking the Discard Changes button in the blue ribbon at the top. A pop-up appears prompting us to confirm our choice to disregard these changes. Keep in mind that doing this will cause all changes that we have made to be lost. For more information about version control, head to our documentation page.